This is Brad Seekout with Terracom, and in this quick video, I'm going to go over some Python scripts that we wrote for the Viavi OLTS85. The OLTS85 is part of the Viavi Smart Class selection of instruments. We're using the OLTS85 specifically because it has Wi-Fi capabilities, and we'll get into that in a bit. First, a little bit of housekeeping. You can find out information about us at terracom.com. If you go to the About area and under Partners, you'll see all of the companies that we represent. If you want to get in contact with any of us, just go under Regional Line Cards and pick your region. I happen to be in upstate New York or in New Jersey, so all my contact information is here. You can send me an email. Okay, so a little bit about the OLTS Smart Class series. Let's go back a little bit. So I'm on the Viavi Solutions webpage, and I just went to all products, and I listed alphabetically, and went to S for Smart Class. And there's actually 3 products that are in this series. The OLTS85 is the one that we have in front of us because that's the demo I could get my hands on. There's an OLP, which is a power meter only 85, and an OLS85. Now you're probably wondering what's the difference between an 85 and an 85P. Well, the P stands for patch cord tester, and that's a microscope that gets attached, or that is actually built in to the OLTS/OLP. So this picture, this OLP does not have a patch cord tester. This OLTS does. We're not going to be using that feature for this, but just to let you know. If you would like more information, if you want to get the manuals, you just go to updatemyunit.net and you look under Smart Class Fiber, and then once we click on that, this has all of the user manuals and the programming manuals. Okay? And if you need any of this as links, just let me know. Send me an email, and I'm happy to send that information. Okay, so let's minimize that and let's get started. Now, as I said before, the OLTS85, the reason that we're using this is because the OLTS85 has Wi-Fi capability, and we have the ability to control the OLTS85 using skipping commands over Wi-Fi. And this can be a very powerful feature because, say you're in a manufacturing environment and you have a power meter that you want to bring around, but you want to control it from a central computer. Rather than plugging it in all the time, you can just control it through Wi-Fi. And there's 2 ways to access this over Wi-Fi. You can set the unit up to be well, actually, I guess there's 3 ways. You can put it on your network. You can have it have the IP address assigned dynamically. You can set the IP address statically, which is what I would think most people would want to do. The third way, and the way that I'm going to demonstrate today, is you can set these OLTS85s up as access points. And that can be rather powerful as well. So we'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and connect. So I have the OLTS85 turned on right now, and right now I'm connected to the internet. This is my local network. So I'm going to go look for this OLTS on my network, or using my Wi-Fi adapter here. And there it is, the OLTS85P. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click this. Now it's going to take, let's try that again. Let's see, why are you not? Let's go ahead and reset this, and we'll come back on again. There it is. Okay, so it's going to take a little while here to negotiate. And while we're waiting for that to negotiate, let's talk about the scripts that I have here. In this collection of scripts, we have 4 scripts that are written in Python. The first one is the OLTS controls.py library, if you will. This has all of the calls and does all of the heavy lifting to connect through the sockets and all of the IP related information to connect to the unit. And you can certainly put this in your own code, but you can also just use this and call it from your own code. And that's kind of what we've done here. We've written 3 other scripts that call on these controls. The first one is a command line test, which basically it connects to the OLTS using the IP address that we set on the unit itself, and it measures power and sets wavelength for the calibration table for the power meter. Then we have another one that is a GUI that does a single read, and you can push a button to have it update manually. Or the third one is an OLTS. It's a GUI that does auto read. All right, so let's go back to what we have up here. My Wi-Fi has an exclamation point. I'm using a Macintosh here, but you can certainly use a Windows-based PC or Linux or whatever. This exclamation point just means that it's not connected to the internet. It is connected to the unit. All right, and we want to test that, so let's go ahead and ping the unit here. So let's ping 10.42.0.1. All right, and so it's pinged successfully. That's good. Let's go ahead and run a program. So I have them in my windows here, or my window here. So let's go ahead and say Python 3. Now I have to type Python 3 in my Apple. I think on my PC I only have to say py, and in other places I've had to do Python. So whatever works for you. Then let's go ahead and bring this command test over. And I'm just dragging and dropping it so that I have all the path here. Okay. All right, so very simply, it's just giving us what the wavelength is, 1550 nanometers, and what the power measurement is. All right. Now, I actually told it to select the wavelength to be 1550 nanometers, and that's why it's doing that. Now, we can go ahead and run it again. I have the power meter just sitting out here, not doing anything right now. I'm not connected to a fiber. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my hand over it and just change the power going in. Okay, and you can see where you could put a loop in here. You could have this repeat or do whatever you want with this data. The next one, let's go ahead and go to the single read GUI. So let's say Python 3, and I'm going to go to the single read. Okay. Up comes my GUI. Now, this was written in Python as well using the tkinter library. It's my understanding, I didn't do the writing, but my understanding is not that difficult to use this tkinter library. So we can go ahead and set our wavelength. Let's set our wavelength to 1552 nanometers. Set wavelength. All right, and that's set the wavelength correctly. And let's just go ahead and read the power. And it'll just it'll just update every time I push the button. Okay. And then for the third, we do the same thing as the manual read. We just update it automatically. And I think what we've done is a 1 second between measurement, one second delay time between measurements. All right, and I'm putting my hand over the top again. All right, I could certainly change this. To 1551. Okay. And so that's it. Very simple. You're certainly welcome. If you would like a copy of these, just send me an email. I can send you a link to our GitHub site, or I can zip them up and send them to you. You're certainly welcome to use these as examples. You can incorporate these into your code. We don't charge for these, and we don't warranty them. They're just examples. If you have any questions, you can also email me at bsicotte@terracom.com. Thank you.